Today we're talking everything from The Pit, Season 2, Episode 13. Mohan, Ogilvy, crashing out. What if Dr. Robbie actually doesn't come back? And also, can we just be real? Nurse Monica sucks. All that and more on an all-new episode of Unbinged starting now. Welcome into Unbinged, the podcast where we break down the shows, movies, and news you love to binge. I'm Alfredo Brown. I'm joined as always by Jagger, May, and Matt Kopfhamer. We're talking everything from this latest episode of The Pit, but first, the spoiler warning.
We're about to spoil The Pit. You need to catch up because you just clicked on a show that, again, is about to spoil it.
Gentlemen, we are in The Pit. Dr. Robbie seems like he's on his way out of the pit, and he is bringing up the possibility that he might not come back. And let's get out of like the head of the character and even just more so look at the context of the show. Do you actually believe that this character would just not come back? Like, where are we even at that he does this actual trip, Jag?
I know it's weird to take a show like The Pit and say, wow, we need stakes. It's not, it's all about
Right.
fighting
People are
over-
dying every episode, but let's up the ante.
Yeah, that's not what I'm not saying it even needs it, but because this show has created an environment where I'm not really sure, I do believe that they would essentially pull their own Ned Stark in a drama. And just the context of what happens in a hospital and what they keep saying about burnout. To me, there's just multiple things that kind of reinforce of why Robbie would do it and make it a real possibility. And I don't like Noah Wiley's so entrenched in this show that even if he would kill his character, he's still going to be directing and producing. That I think it would be one of the most unique things in TV history if they did pull this off.
As his quasi-girlfriend said, see him next week. No, I'm just kidding. I think he is at a breaking point. We're seeing that obviously with his interactions with Dana, but I think once he does get clear of the hospital, gets a little bit of distance, I think he'll be able to maybe get out of his own headspace, maybe, and eventually come back. I think he is on the brink of suicide. I think he's been contemplating it for a long time. I don't think he's ready to actually do it though. So I see him returning. If they do it though, Jag, I'm with you. Would be one of the most unique twists that a television drama could pull off. And if they could do it well, kudos to them for if they do it.
I'm 60-40 that he comes back. And that's fucking nuts that I'm even that low,
Yeah.
I think there's an area in the middle where he doesn't actually kill himself, but I do think that he goes away. And we even do like the final episode is a check-in 3 months later, and it's supposed to be Dr. Robbie's first day back, and he just doesn't show up. And that's how they leave us on that cliffhanger heading into season 3.
Wild.
Like Good Will Hunting,
Yeah, kind of. I just watched that movie again 2 days ago. Such a good movie.
I want to pull up one day and you don't come out and get in my car. Like that's kind of
Affleck shows up, full jumpsuit, Duncan. He's there with Nurse Dana at the pit. Hey, where's Robbie? Where's my guy?
He's there to give Dr. Chen his refill.
Yep. I think that's a possibility, but it's something I want to point out here. It's interesting because like we always talk about like the contrast in this show and how there are things that the doctors are doing that also kind of are happening with the patients. Dr. Robbie has this moment where he's talking about the patient Orlando and how Orlando's fall may have not been an accident. And it's interesting that, I mean, when we see other doctors suggest something like that, we kind of just say, oh, that doctor's being a dick, or like maybe they're just being pragmatic about this and just like what's plausible, right? It almost seems like his headspace is already there, and that's the first thing he's thinking of. Not that it was an accident, not that it was any of the other things that were brought up like dehydration. That it was just like, we have a lot of bills. There's a life insurance policy. Might as well take my own life. And it's interesting that that's where his head is already at. Except there is no insurance policy for the hospital. There, like he's looking around. He's saying, I don't think everyone else can handle it if I'm gone.
And that may be the thing that ultimately saves him is his sense of duty and how. So I studied psychology in school, and a lot of times when people take their own life, they feel like it's actually better for everyone that they're not around. So it's a warped way of thinking, and people, may think it's selfish, and on one level it is, but they genuinely think that if I remove myself from this situation, everyone else will be better for it. And I don't think that's where Robbie's at. I think Robbie's just despondent and burnt out and has a lot of PTSD. So I don't think he believes in his heart of hearts that if he's gone, people will be better off. I think he's just tired and ready for. He is so burnt out that he's just like, I'm ready to just give up. But I think ultimately the thing that's going to bring him back from that is going to be realizing that people like Whitaker, Santos, Dana need him. They need him to come back and be that rock that they can cling to.
The Whitaker thing is sorry, Jack, go.
I was gonna say that's just not enough either. Like Robbie needs to live for Robbie. That's like that's something. Yeah, that's something that
but he can't
learn.
He needs something though to cling on to first before he realizes that.
That's fair. That's true.
It's interesting because there's moments here. One, I actually think like Whitaker is kind of showing that he doesn't need Robbie anymore. And I think like the best representation of that is him even being like, I don't need to go stay at Robbie's house. That's kind of weird. Like I'd kind of rather keep living in this less than desirable situation with Santos than go stay at Robbie's bachelor pad and take care of everything. And then him being able to handle Ogilvy when he's having a crash out in the front of the hospital. Like there's just a lot of things where Whitaker's grown past Robbie, I almost wonder at this point. But there's a lot of other doctors in here that haven't quite done that yet. But what you're saying about like Robbie needing to live for Robbie, I'm so curious because we've seen he's had tough days and a lot of tough times. I'm curious as to like what got him to this point and how he keeps looking at things where he's seeing a friend like Duke, and Duke really needs to get this help ASAP because like, what if he doesn't make it through the weekend? And it's so interesting to see Dr. Robbie's character play both sides of the fence here, where it's like, I don't really care about myself, but other people need me so much. And without me, things just won't happen or get done.
That's what makes puts me more to like 65 that he stays closer to 70.
Just okay. Because, I thought you were like upping the odds that he offs himself.
No. And
okay.
I'm having a hard time saying this because like suicide's multiple things, but I don't want to say he's attention seeking, but like this is him flirting with the idea. Like this is like a first time where it's like real serious. And if he doesn't fix this problem, it's going to come back and he's going to get more serious about it. Cause like Kopf said, right now he just needs to have a reason to live, a reason, whether it's, and that's something they teach you about because like trigger warning for everyone. I've tried to commit suicide twice. And like one thing you like learn in therapy is that like you need to find any reason to live, even if it's just feeding your cat. Like someone needs to feed my fucking cat. And then that's something that feels very rewarding for you. And right now the hospital, the ED is his cat. And I think that's something that he needs to learn to at least show up for, and then quickly get some help to learn how to take care of himself. Because like I said, this is only the first time. A lot of people, if you already get to this point and you don't get real help or you don't do an attempt, you're going to do it multiple times. So sorry for anyone for like dropping any weird shit on anybody. So
you know what, man? We've never heard that. But just break the wall for a minute here of the podcast. I'm glad you're with us, man. I love you. I'm not trying to make this like a weird thing of like, let's stop and talk about Jag, but like, I'm genuinely happy you are with us, dude. Like,
yeah. Well, thank you. And
check on your people, everybody.
Check on your people. And it's like Kopf said, man, like you think that you being around is a burden on people. That's like how it starts. And then you think that like, it'll hurt for a while, but if I'm gone, I'm not going to be like this weight on people.
It'll be better.
It'd be better. And then like you suck after suicide because you're living for other people. And that in itself is a burden on the people around you and love. And that's why some people get considered like, he's a narcissist with the suicide thing. No, you're just his reason to live. but he needs to do the work to live for himself. And that's like some people like, well, Jagger's arrogant and all this other shit. That's me telling me how awesome I am. Not even so much me telling you how awesome I am, because I need those things. And like, I need Robbie to find a therapist that he likes. And a lot of it is he just needs to be comfortable and ready. Like, he's probably found 2 good therapists already, but he's just so raw and like he's just irritated wound right now that like even the any amount of soothing touch that someone's trying to give, it just feels like you're throwing salt at it.
You know what's interesting is Robbie's like reaction to different therapists and stuff, and just like not being about it. I had a similar conversation with the kids in the house the other day. One of them is 9, and the girl's 14, and they just have this visceral reaction to therapy, that it's become this thing that's like we've kind of come back full circle, where we've done like the full 360 to we're back to like the same spot of like therapy is a dirty word and it's gross. Like we had a moment there where everyone was cool and open, and like now we're kind of back to that. And I think Robbie's a pretty good representation of that, of even someone who understands the medical system, how important mental health is still kind of just like, fuck therapy, it's not for me, it's not right, it's a sign of weakness. And I don't think it's that. I don't think it's that simple, but I think that it's something he has told himself, that he can't afford to have emotional issues. He can't afford to be in therapy because he needs to be able to focus on everyone else.
And I think we've weaponized therapy as a society to where people use it to be selfish, where they're like, you're invading my space and you're a toxic personality. You know, just to quote The Boys, it's like, oh, he's a toxic personality. And that's just them being shitty about it. Or you'll be like, oh, you need therapy. It's like, no, I'm having a bad fucking day. You know, it's like, don't say I need therapy because I'm venting and I'm having a bad day or a bad week. You know, that shit happens. So
it's to me, it's the same thing. Go.
I was just gonna say, people are allowed to have, emotions. Like, show your emotions. Right. Where it crosses the line, like we see with Robbie in the episodes, when he starts slamming shit. That's when Dana's like, "Hey, what are we doing? Like, be a little bit, like, be more professional and have some decorum." And I get it. You're on the 13th hour of a very long shift. Everything has gone wrong. So I understand why his reaction was that. But again, when you're in Robbie's position, you can't have that reaction. You have to be able to regulate your emotions a little bit better. And that's where having somebody to talk to is so important, because you may be a mature adult and think you have everything under control, but sometimes you just need somebody to talk to and give it to you straight. And I understand having that comfort level, but eventually you have to open yourself up, or else no one's going to be able to get to the level of your comfort.
That's why I wish, I'm bringing up a problem without a good solution, but I wish there were more therapists, actually. And I don't mean like more, like we need more. I just mean more diverse therapists, where it's just like, hey man, you used to be a doctor. Would you like to take like literally subsidize someone who has worked and been in an environment like Robbie, and now you're a therapist for these types of people? Because for me, it was hard for me to accept therapy, because I'm like, I grew up in Arkansas. I got adopted at 8 years old, which is incredibly rare. Had a lot of like racial identity issues because like my parents are white. And now I've got this, by nature, statistically, if you got through college, you're probably, and especially if you got through a master's degree to be a therapist, you were from an affluent household. So I've got this white lady trying to ask me, well, what's it like being black? Like immediately, like, fuck you. Like it's like, why don't we talk about the other things I put on the list? It's like, what kind of weird question is that? You know, I literally told her, go, like, what's fuck you. I was like, I'm done with this. That's how Robbie feels like. That's my point. Is like how could anyone, even us, talking about a show, like how could I relate with Vig at his job? We joke, but like seriously, how the fuck do we relate to Vig in his job every day?
You need someone that's at least a peer and that can come to you from a level of playing field that you can feel not only, okay, they understand my position and where I've been, but you can trust that they can give you advice on where to go. Because that's the biggest thing in therapy, is if you don't have that trust and that foundation of trust, it doesn't matter what the fuck they tell you or say to you or what advice, you're not going to take it.
Guys, we have a lot of characters and a lot of stuff going on in these episodes. We're going to talk about all that. Before we do, please, if you've enjoyed just a minute of this conversation, take a second to like this episode, comment with your thoughts, whether you're on YouTube, Apple, Spotify, wherever you're at. And you know what helps us, for those of you that are listening on Apple and Spotify? Leaving a 5-star review. It's huge for us as an independent podcast. That helps us grow. It allows us to do more shows because more people are watching and listening. We're able to earn more. We're able to do more things for you guys. And that's what we're trying to do right now. We're making more content right now. Every Thursday, we've got The Pit. Then we're going to be covering Your Friends and Neighbors season 2. I am obsessed with this show. You guys are too. Like we are locked all the way in on this show. We're pacing ourselves instead of watching the whole season. We've got The Boys season 5 coming out. We're covering Invincible season 4 for our premium bingers. Euphoria season 3. We've done our rewatches of Sinners and One Battle After Another. And some of you have become members here on the YouTube or on Apple or Spotify. I want to give a shout out to some of the people that we've got here. Okay. Emily Joy 1906. Thank you. HG Kelly 6920. Eileen Gardner, me 7. That's a fun name. Abigail S3I6M. Lots of fun letters and numbers there. But guys, you are the awesome members that help make this possible for us. So thank you so much for everything you do. Your support does not go unnoticed. All right, guys, let's go back into this episode here. I want to transition away from Robbie because I feel like we can just talk about like his mental capacity for things right now for the entire episode. But it almost feels like, and I wonder how you guys feel like about this. We talk about, we're all football fans, and I promise I'm not going to make this a sports thing, but we're all football fans, and we always wonder why there are specific sports organizations that are just simply bad for years, regardless of who the coach, general manager, players are. It doesn't matter. They're just bad. And a lot of it comes back to it's still a business, and shit rolls downhill. If stuff is bad at the top, it's going to be bad everywhere else. And I'm wondering if a lot of the crash out and the disturbances in this ER are stemming right now from both Dr. Robbie and Dr. Alashimi, because there are a lot of, and Dana. Like when you look at the leadership right now, it was crazy to see the contrast of the night shift, who is in there calm, cool, collected, and really sharp on their game, not really struggling. Whereas the day shift has fucking lost it. And we obviously see why, but that shit is really rolling downhill at this point.
Yeah, and it's tough to compare because on one end you have a crew that just went through 13 hours of hell and another crew that's walking in fresh. So I'm glad they made
that's why I'm saying, like, we know why
they showed
they're like
yeah.
that.
I'm really glad that they showed that because that is not only, that's real life. Like, it doesn't matter what job, outside the ER, inside the ER, like, you have a shift change come and there's just a complete change in dynamic because you have this new energy coming through the door. And so it's crazy to think about some of the consequences could be for that, where it's like, what falls in between those cracks when that shift change happens? You have one team literally crashing out while the other team's trying to get caught up.
And from this show, it's like you can't make like fictional characters your personality or take that. And I know this is a big theme. It's like in replace.
Absolutely, I can't, Jag.
Oh, you're right. I'm sorry. But like for real, Dr. Shin and Dr. Abbott, they are kind of like the level of unbothered that I want to be in, because Dr. like literally Nurse Joy says, "Sorry for the mess." Dr. Shin's like, "What mess?" He comes in, he's like, "Yep," just gets to work. Doesn't like throw a fucking fit about it, sips his Dunkin' and then just gets into the shit. Dr. Abbott shows up. What's the situation? Then he immediately just calmly gives orders and they just get in line. Whereas like, it's like you said, man, like Dr. Robbie comes in. He's like, "Well, what do we got here?" He's like already stressed me out with his body
rubbing
language.
his hands,
his hands.
Purell, fucking holding the stethoscope. Yep.
Dana's just yelly mood,
Panic attack,
chain smoking.
Yeah. She's got 14 patches on her arm.
Just Nicorette gum all over the place. Yeah, man. I mean, some of the characters that we have that are having just the toughest of times right now. We've talked about Dr. Samira Mohan, and we have talked about a lot of different possibilities with her of whether her character makes it out of this season, which it's interesting that we keep kind of going to that level with characters. But I think more so, I don't know that she is going to finish the shift. And what I mean by that is I think she's probably just going to walk out.
She kind of already did.
I'm curious. Yeah, I mean, she kind of already did. And I'm curious if this is the end of her time in the ER. Like, I would not be surprised if she actually does kind of take Robbie's suggestion and do something else, because she is, I mean, she turns down the opportunity to help with Orlando's head with the patient. She shreds her ultrasound fellowship application as soon as she sees that there is another more qualified applicant. And now she walks out towards the end of this episode when she realizes that her mistake with Ogilvy costs a patient his life. This is a character that I believe at this point is forever changed, and she's sort of entering into that same Dr. Robbie stratosphere.
I actually think that she should be, and this is me thinking like a writer and not like just an observer, where like Alshimi was like, we need to have 2 attendees. And I'm like, oh, that's more room for people to stay at this teaching hospital. That's a good writing device. That was like my first thought on it. And like, personally, I think that she should be an attendee that's there. Like, I think that she's the perfect contrast to a lot of these personalities that are in there. Like, is she a little bit slower pace? Yeah, but I think if Dr. Robbie would kind of fuck off, like, she'd probably just be fine and no one would die, because like her problem is she got overwhelmed. She had a bad day with her mom. We got to remember, this was a shift that this happened, and you are 100% correct that this is going to affect her. Like, we've already seen it affect Ogilvy, but like, she's always just does the right thing and has good catches. Like, do you think that geriatric people aren't going to come to the hospital? They aren't going to come to their emergency room? You probably should have someone like that as an attendee there. And if you're going to have 2, and Robbie's, this is where I go back to like, his attitude is just affecting everyone else negatively. And I think that's like a double impact on Mohan. Like, I'm just not ready to blame her and say that you're not good at this job. And I mean, like, specifically ED, not being a doctor.
The thing that we forget too is that, like, even though this is a 15 episode season and it has been months for us, it is still the same day. It is still the same shift. Like, it's sorry, I hate when I do this, but it's the Batman thing, like Joker, where he's just like, just one bad day, right? And it feels like any of these doctors could have just one bad day, and they are having that one bad day, but it's like all of them at the same time. And it is consistently the worst fucking day ever. And it was so interesting to see how someone like Mohan and Ogilvy and these people that are just essentially like, I can't fucking do this, versus Nurse Emma, who had a really, really tough, like a really bad day. And by the end of it, she was just kind of like, it wasn't that bad. It wasn't that bad.
I wonder if Dana's the opposite of Robbie, where like, Dana's done like that. I think that's something we're not talking about as well. Like, Catherine Lanassa is such like a powerhouse, but like, it actually makes sense to me from a writing standpoint if she's actually done after this. And whereas Robbie, he's like, I can't leave because no one else can get it done. I think that Emma has just passed everything with Dana with flying colors, and she's like, I can leave because there's someone like Emma that is coming up, and there are more nurses like that, and as long as I teach her the right way for a little bit, I can leave knowing that maybe I left this place a little bit better, you know. And I don't mean kill herself, I mean just fucking retire.
Just retire.
Yeah.
I mean, she already had a sabbatical of 8 months or something like that. Like, she took time off, and this is one of her first shifts back, if I wasn't mistaken.
The show is really talking about addiction with these characters of Dana and Robbie, and they did it more on the nose with Langdon, but now they've done it with Santos too. And like, addiction comes in all forms, where it's like, you can be addicted to your work, you can be addicted to helping people, you can be addicted to attention, you can be addicted to harming yourself. Like, there's all these things that kind of come into it, and the show is I think really doing a good job of laying it all on the table.
Yeah, they do a great job of showing different dynamics and perspectives and the trials that come with that. And not only that, but you get similar tracks with different characters showing you what's possible. Like with Dr. McKay, she's been clean and sober for, a decade now? Yep. So she shows Langdon that there is a light at the end of the tunnel if you continue with the program. And then you get the opposite end of that, where you get somebody like Monica, and it shows what can happen when you stay in something too long and you allow yourself to just get driven by hate. And so now you have characters behind you speaking a different language, and you're giving them shit because now they've grown past you and you're angry about it.
Hey, real talk. Fuck Monica.
Fuck Monica.
Nurse
100%,
Monica
dude.
sucks.
We were
Stay
talking.
retired.
We all three watched this episode together, and we were talking, man. These are like, they forced me to retire because of the computers. Like, no, they need nurses.
Nope.
They force you to retire because you fucking suck, dog. Like, you're just you
You're a
ass,
bigot.
dude. Yeah. It's
Dude,
not even that she's like angry and having a bad day like Robbie. You're just a bad person. Like Robbie's not a bad person, you know.
But it's just wild that somebody could work in an environment like the ER and still be a fucking racist cunt. Like, what are we doing?
Oh.
Buddy, all the nurses that are in there now,
I said what I said.
I'm not. That's a mixed review. There are good people that are nurses. Koff says that, but
Oh, she's a clerk. She's not a nurse.
that's fair. A lot of it's a known trope that mean girls become nurses. I'm just putting that out there, and then like especially in the
party
South
girls.
here, yeah, like, almost all the meanest girls that I went to school with became
The
nurses.
meanest girls
Florida.
you know.
Half the nurses didn't even have a real degree. So
Oh, what?
there was a controversy a few years ago that it turned out there were a couple of universities in Florida that were just basically paper mills for diplomas for nursing. You paid them money, they gave you a degree. You didn't have to go to any classes.
Nice. Never change Florida. We're awesome.
God damn Florida.
That's nuts. Are they
This is
still
why we are
nurses? Did they
American-
track them people? Or are they just out
there's
there
an
like sticking
There's
They're
an
just letting-
indeterminate number. There's an
Florida
indeterminate
is like,
number.
hey, we're just gonna let anyone
America's
become a
penis.
nurse. We're gonna take away your porn, and we just got gators everywhere.
Oh, and you can conceal carry without a permit because who cares?
That's true. There's people walking around the Walmart with a rifle. It's fucking nuts.
like, give me your porn. Here's your gun.
And
here's
your nurses
nursing
aren't
degree.
real.
You get a gun and a nursing degree, but you gotta trade in the porn.
Oh, why is Florida so weird? Because everyone's
Guys, we
Lots of
needed that because this episode of The Pit was like almost bringing down the vibes of the show too. Where we're like, yeah, everything's just like really sad and kind of shitty and kind of sucks. But you know, it was actually
How
a
about
really
Florida?
great. Well, yeah, thanks a lot, Florida. You win again. One of the better parts of this episode was everything that went on with Digby. I thought that was great, and I think it was the necessary palate cleanser that we needed. Where I think we're seeing a lot of the dark side of the human spirit and like what happens when you break a human spirit, and we don't get to see a lot of what happens when you put the human spirit back together. And that's what these scenes with Digby did. And to see Nurse Dana still have that in her, to have that touch where she was, the way she was just talking to him is like, yeah, don't worry, we'll be able to get a haircut. We just got to get your ears lowered a little bit. Like, you know, it's just like, oh, is that Tom Cruise? Like, it was just the perfect amount of charm and delicacy with everything she was saying. And the scene that really got me, I don't know about you guys, but when he was panicking with the shave and the haircut, is they won't know what I look like. My family won't be able to find me. And Emma says, did you dance with your daughter at her wedding? And he said, yes. And she says, well, then she will always remember you. And I just thought that was beautiful. It was beautiful. And then to have the callback where our new doctor on the scene, Dr. Tamarian, is like, yeah, there's some other guy there, and didn't recognize Digby and meant it. It was such a fun way to look back at that scene.
But again, it just goes to show the difference in something like Dana and Monica. Dana treats everyone with respect and dignity until you put hands.
So you
on
put
one of the nurses.
so you put a nurse in a chokehold, then
Yep.
you're gonna catch these hands.
Then exactly. But again, she just exemplifies that if you treat people with dignity, you'll be surprised at the outcome. Like, humans are capable of incredible things, and sometimes you just need somebody to listen to you.
Back when I lived in
And
Denver.
one of the things that was so impactful for me in that scene was when he's talking about his daughter living in his house, and Emma's like, what do you mean? And it basically what he's saying is like, I'm unhoused because I choose, because I want that freedom. And so I thought that was a really powerful moment, because it shows like yes, there's probably a little bit of mental illness mixed in there, but some people are meant to be like they want to be free. They want to be on the open road. And so I think that's important too. That's an important thing to allow people to have that option. Like the fact that we have laws against sleeping outside and like basic laws against unhoused people is fucked. And I hate it.
And especially when a lot of the unhoused people are there because of one bad day and a system that makes it hard to get back up after you've fallen down. And
I'm one missed paycheck away from being unhoused. Like,
yeah, I joke with
it feels
everyone.
like.
I joke with everyone. It's like you know how fast I am for working in a fucking kitchen at Outback. It's like one contract, dog. You know, it's like it reminded me back when I lived in Denver, and anyone who lives in Denver or like I know a lot of you guys are in here because you guys talk about DIA and stuff like that. You guys know about 6th Street. Alfredo, you've probably been to 6th Street in Denver.
Probably.
They're like the outdoor strip mall.
I've been there.
Oh, you've been there. Okay. Yeah, yeah. Homeless people like a motherfucker are out there. And I remember it was Oktoberfest and I was hanging out with this girl, Charisma. Shout out to her. Because she told me, she's like, you should look at
government name or
that's her government
stage
name. It's
name?
Charisma with a K. Karysma. She's like, you should make eye contact with homeless people. Just like it's not just about money. It's like, I know that you think that you're being respectful by just not noticing them. You know, you just want to pretend that it's not there, not make it uncomfortable, but just treating them like people it's not the same worth as money because money buys food, but it is worth something, you know?
Yeah, it's giving them that dignity and showing them that, hey, you're still a person. You're not just an object to pass by.
And Alfredo, I don't know if you remember when you said this, dude, but one thing I thought that I've had since we've watched this is like The Pitt is a very human show. At the end of the day, it's like a doctor show, but it's all about like humanity. And we get all these human moments, whether it's about suicide and like what we've had with Robbie, and then a beautiful moment of just letting somebody get their dignity back, even if it's temporary, is huge.
Yeah, and there's even times where it's like, it's okay where the show can just concede that like, hey, this spot was too tough for you right now. And it's okay to just go home and live for another day and like fight this battle another day and make this decision another day. It's almost like a couple being in a fight and like not knowing what to say at that moment. And it's like the idea of like, let's sleep on it or something. And you see that with Ogilvy here, where he's just beside himself out in front in the ambulance bay. And Whitaker really in that moment felt like he became season 1 Robbie. He felt so in control of the moment. He stepped up to it. The moment was not too big for him. And Ogilvy was looking at Whitaker with this reverence of someone who has just been doing this for years and years and years. Like, that is my new big brother sort of thing. And Whitaker just had all the confidence in the world. And I think it's those moments like that where you can see, man, there's so much good that Robbie has done. And it's like, it's the chocolate chips in the cookie right now that is the depression that's going around that ER. Like, there's still some goodness that's in there. I love seeing that growth of this character who's saving other people emotionally and becoming this unsung hero of the hospital.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And what's really nice too is him exemplifying, like, sometimes you need a certain personality to thrive in an environment, and he's got that personality. Like, he might be quiet on the outside,
Farm
but
boy.
he's got that dog in him. Like,
Farm boy. He literally dealt with shit every day.
Yeah. And he even tells Ogilvy, he's like, I love the challenge of not knowing what's happening and having to figure it out in the moment and coming up with a plan. And like, he's basically an adrenaline junkie.
I was going to say it, more addiction.
Yep.
There you go. The unsung theme of the whole show has been addiction in many ways.
Mm. He's Superman. Just Nebraska instead of Kansas.
Oh, yeah. He just needs a pair of glasses.
And fucking alien DNA, but...
Hey, we don't know that he doesn't. We don't know that he
I guess
doesn't.
we don't. I haven't seen him in the same room.
Let's talk about, Jack, you mentioned it earlier that there is the talk of having 2 attendings in the ED. And let's talk about the other attending that's there right now, Dr. Al-Hashimi. And it is...
Dr. AI.
It's funny.
Theory.
I wrote this down in my notes that when she's having these zone out moments, I wrote, does she have PTSD? And I was like, well, I don't necessarily know that. And then, yes, cough. Yes. That's actually like what I wrote was it's almost like an AI chatbot that you're talking to that responds with, sorry, this is taking longer than expected. And that's exactly how it feels when she's having those zone out moments. She's like, I'm just thinking. Maybe it's more than that.
You just see the
That's
the
what I'm
circle in
saying.
her head going.
Rainbow wheel.
Some
Just
saying.
Yeah.
So
guys see-
episode 15, we're gonna find out that Whitaker is Superman, and that Dr. Al is actually it's Brainiac.
just Brainiac.
Did you guys see that reel I sent you on Instagram? The girl is made all should be, where she's just like, "Oh, it seems like the hemorrhaging has stopped. This is a good sign." Like everything she just said, this is a good sign.
What AI is Dr. Al? Is she?
She's
What
Claude.
is she? Chat? Is she Claude? Is
Claude's
she
good.
Gemini?
It's good. She's not Chat GPT. She sounds like Claude.
She's
'cause,
definitely
like,
not Grok.
Yeah, she's
She
not.
knows Armenian.
Yeah, she knows
Not
Armenian. Monica's Grok.
Got him.
Yeah.
Fuck you, Elon.
It's just like Grok. What language are they speaking? I don't know. It ain't American.
Yeah, exactly. Max Mom from Always Sunny is like, "You ain't American. I don't want to know him."
What language are they speaking, Grok? Do you need the number for ice? What? No.
Just your phone automatically dials ice.
Oh man, this is funny. I think this is a kind of a good transition into a similar vein. We get our very Maha coded patient here. Like, I'm not gonna mince the words with it. We got fucking Tylenol.
Fucking
God
the,
no,
The Simpsons character?
You know
Never.
she work
Yeah,
out in
shit.
jeans.
You know she listens to Kid Rock.
Yep, that new shit.
Bow, wicka, bow,
Not
wicka,
even the
bang,
old
bang.
stuff.
Yeah.
Man, that whole like interaction back and forth with her and Santos was and McKay was really funny. First of all, just like, guys, don't take that much turmeric. You don't need it.
Have you guys tried sleep maxing yet?
Thank you, because I thought that was fucking hilarious.
What? Can someone
You should
explain
sleep
that to
max.
me?
No fucking clue. I don't know.
It's the idea that you are doing every single thing possible to make sure you are getting the best sleep possible. So it is like what she says there, where you've got white noise, eye mask, mouth tape, all like the various things.
So it's
to make
basically
sure
min-maxing from like a video game in real life. It's
you
very stupid.
said too many words I don't understand. I'm going to take it as disrespect.
Cough, this is a rare
You should.
occasion where you sound younger than we do. Because most of the time, like, what was it you asked the other day in the group chat? I'm like, "Are you 1,000 fucking years old?" Like, I forgot what it was. This is you're using words like min-max.
I feel like Koff is not actually his own age. He's somewhere
I'm
between
not. I'm a man
86
lost
and
in
13.
time. I'm a
exactly.
man lost in time. I fit no age.
There are two wolves inside Cough. One of them is 12, and one of them is 85.
Ugh.
They're both really close to shitting their pants. Sorry, Jack. I
Always.
shouldn't have said that while you were drinking.
And
This leads Santos to say something that, I mean, I'm curious. Obviously, medical professionals, you don't have to comment, but, if you want to comment, I think it'd be really funny. She says, this patient's a big fucking idiot. Like, she does not
job
mince
security,
words.
baby.
And McKay's like, what? Hey, like, relax. She's like, no, don't worry. I like it. Our job depends on them. And like, I've heard the same thing from doctors who are just like, oh God, yeah, I love CrossFit. I mean, it's terrible for the patients, but I love it because it keeps me employed. Like,
So here's a little personal story that I got to share with you guys the other day about, people being dumb and making poor choices and then ending up in the ER. So my dad is an amateur woodworker. He has a shop in his garage, lots of tools. He's decent. He's actually made the table that my monitor is sitting on right now. The problem, however, is sometimes he likes to cut corners on safety, like taking the guard off his table saw and then getting distracted while using said table saw. And he proceeded to cut off basically the tip of his thumb from just underneath the thumbnail. So he ended up in the ER, brought the tip in with him. They couldn't, basically he got the Dr. Shark treatment with the ortho coming in and making the determination, like, nope, can't save it, trashed. So now they have, he's missing the tip of his thumb. It's like the third of his finger. It's like 3 now of his fingers he has missing appendage or parts of because of previous accidents. So again, my dad, love him to death, usually pretty smart, but he keeps doctors employed because he likes to play with power tools without safety measures. So
I think we need to shame people. And I'm sorry about your dad, dog. Because
He should try safety maxing.
hey, his new name is Sergeant. His new name is Sergeant Stumpy. So there you go.
It's funny. I told
That's
Koff, I was
nuts.
just like, I used to do construction for a little bit. I was like, yeah, I barely grazed. Like, I basically lost a fingertip. Essentially, that's it. Because I tried to catch wood, and I was like, yeah, I took the safety guard off. But I was like, you can't cut corners. And then Koff, like, an hour later, is like, yeah, he took the safety guard off, and I'm just like totally a dad. I'm like, yeah, that'll do it. Just like-
God, because I asked my mom, I was like, "What happened? Like, how did this happen?" And she's like, "Yeah, he just told me he took the safety out." I was like, "God, Dad, what are you doing
Because it's like, it is impossible to cut your thumb off unless you just
with
like,
the guard?"
unless unless you go straight through. I was like, he had to have taken their guard off and have done some fuck shit with it. I've done
got
some fuck
distracted.
shit. Yeah, it's just.
But yeah,
But back to Santos though. Again, I agree with her, and I think people deserve shame sometimes. And I don't mean you don't help her, but you'd be like, "This was dumb. You are dumb. This is why you are here." You know, I will
Don't be
fix
dumb.
it. Yeah, don't be dumb.
and she even says, like, "Hey, you can do your own research, but go to reputable sources. Don't go to these fucking wahoos on YouTube who are like, hey, bleach your asshole for 10 minutes a day and you'll be healthy and cure that
As
cancer."
us yahoos are here speaking on YouTube.
But here's another one.
We don't give medical advice.
Clearly,
Not that often.
no. I am the science. Never forget.
Only legal advice.
We know bird law and other forms of healthcare.
I'm clearly a dude whose Instagram and TikTok is just like food and fitness. One guy said, he's like, hey, a really good hack is adding salt to like your morning water or drink. Literally a pinch of salt. And it's just to help with your hydration. It's like most people are fucking dehydrated and then they cut out salt.
Brando, it's got the electrolytes plants need.
For sure. But you're actually proving the fucking point. Is people like someone said that like, oh, I'm having so much salt in the morning and it almost shut down my kidneys. He's like, motherfucker, I said a pinch, not like, they were just drinking
That's like
salt
500
water.
milligrams
They
a
were
day.
just drinking
Dude.
salt water, dude.
But there's people that
so
are like,
dumb.
my dad is like that. Not that he'll do that much salt, but like he's the guy that's like, yeah, I have trouble going to the bathroom, so he has like 4 times the amount of Metamucil into his protein smoothies. I'm like, well, yeah, that's why you struggle with it because you're putting
NASCAR family
4x
from
fiber.
early episodes.
Yes.
If they say 50 milligrams is good, then 2,000's got to be great.
Yes.
Because how much turmeric is that? Because like I do turmeric. I add
She said
to
it was
my
500.
steak,
It was 500 milligram capsules, and she was taking 5 a day.
and that's a
2,500
fucking
milligrams of
bananas.
That's a
2,500
fucking horse
milligrams.
pill, dude. That's a fucking
Yeah.
horse pill.
That's fucking nuts. Like Indian chefs were looking at going, that's too much turmeric.
That's what I'm saying. It's like
too
I
much.
add turmeric to every seasoning because of that. But it's like, a normal amount. Like people,
Real talk though, delicious and good for inflammation. Just not that much.
it makes your smoothies
anything
pretty
in
colors.
life. Anything in life, moderation is key, right? Even the bad stuff. Like you have pizza and cookies every once in a while, not every day. Like you
Says
gotta have
fucking you.
moderation. Yeah, you're right. Again, I'm not an expert or a doctor, so don't listen.
When
to
was the
me.
last time Jag
whatever you
wore
want.
sleeves? Okay. He doesn't even know.
I mean,
There's no moderation.
around the house on camera. I don't.
When people aren't watching, I'm in hoodies. When I'm on camera, Gotta show up as much of the spot as you can.
I cut the sleeves out this motherfucker for Easter already.
You look like Terry Hatcher in Desperate Housewives right now.
Good, dude. That's what I was going for. Thank you.
You look like you're gonna seduce a pool boy after this. All right. Sorry.
Never let them know what you're doing next.
Exactly.
Never.
Always
Jack's
keep
like, my
guessing.
schedule's filled up today. Who knows what it's gonna be? Okay, we still have so much more from this episode that happened. It's crazy. Like looking back at it, guys.
Can we talk about Donovan McNabb?
Tiger Woods. It was
/ Tiger Woods. yeah. That's the doctor that Dr. Robbie is speaking to about Duke's diagnosis here, and he's got. I didn't quite catch all the details of it. Once again, like we always say, we're not doctors. 50% mortality rate though I did catch here, and Dr. Robbie's concerned that it could rupture at any moment, and he's just kind of loses it here in this moment. It was also good to see this actor in a serious role.
It seems like Gary something. I'm doing the research now. Like, play me off, Johnny, while I get it up.
That's Allen Iverson.
Oh,
He
right.
is a semi-recurring character from It's Always Sunny. He's come in as a impersonator of Donovan McNabb and Tiger Woods. It's fantastic.
Just plays
It's hilarious
various
every time.
black Philadelphia athletes. No, not
that's so
Philadelphia.
funny.
Tiger Woods, not Philadelphia.
No,
Just random black athletes.
And then doesn't he say he's Don Cheadle at one point?
Oh yeah, it's Jeffrey Owens. Yeah, Jeffrey Owens is his name on there because like he's an old school child actor, and like I was just happy to see him because like he was like working at a fucking like a Home Depot or some
Like
shit
a
like
grocery
that.
store or some shit.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah. And like actors are
I think it was
people
a Trader
too.
Joe's.
Yeah. So good for him, and he did it well. Like it was actually, I believed everything he said. I mean, I was like, that's fucking Tiger Woods. You know, the whole time.
when we were watching, you guys couldn't contain yourself. Like the second he was on screen, called, that's Donovan McNabb, and I was like, what? I looked and I was like, no, it's fuck. God damn it, you got me.
Yeah, you guys, you old heads will know him as Elvin Thibodeau from the Cosby Show, but that's who he was as his big role. So.
Yeah, there's a Duke. I'm wondering where they're going with this storyline. It's gonna sound messed up when I say it. Like I don't really care about Duke, but it makes us care more about Robbie, and I think that's kind of the thing that's either going to be the tipping point with Robbie or not. I worry there's a thing that's going to set him over the edge.
Dinner date. That's what I care about.
I mean, with Nurse Vivi, I get it, man.
Nurse Vivi
Jack's
looks
over
like
here.
the type of girl who would ignore me and leave with the
And
guy
then
like,
it would turn me on way more. Is that what you're
And
saying?
leave with a guy like Duke on a motorcycle.
Yeah,
No.
dude, I'm being dead ass serious. Like I got tattoos just to go earn girls like Vivi, and not for,
Just to go.
It may have been a mistake to sell my motorcycle. I should.
I told you that, Koff, like a million times. I'm like, what are you doing, my G?
What's
Like,
your
you got-
transportation now?
Well, no, I have a car. Like the
What is it,
bike was
though?
just for fun. I'm not gonna say on air.
Okay, that's all. We love you, Koff, but like you had
Think I'm
a
a fool?
You had a cool motorcycle, and now you're trapped with the Ford shitbox. Come on, man.
ladies. Can you tap in and give Koff some love over here? I was like, Koff, you got a beard. You're a big burly motherfucker. You roll up on a bike, dog. There is a demographic ready for you. And
That's
he's like,
absolutely.
I'm gonna sell the bike, and I'm like, what are you doing? It's like
I
Harry
just got
breaking his
tired of
wand.
almost getting hit by old people.
It's one of your top
You get-
three worst
you almost
decisions
get
you've ever made.
sideswiped by an 80-year-old and one too many times. It's like, all right, this isn't worth it.
That's on you for living in that area of Florida. It's all
with all
elderly.
the old people.
He
Yeah,
does.
you're not wrong.
Real talk. Koff lives in a retirement like place essentially over there. Like you. Yeah, I get it a little bit. I would just move though.
That would have been the better choice. But here's the catch-22. Couldn't afford to move without selling the bike. So
Coffee, you know what they say? What doesn't kill you makes you stronger.
Hey,
Kelly Clarkson. That, boys and girls, is a professional transition on the podcast.
That's good. That's good.
Nice segue.
Good stuff. Let's just bask in this for a moment. But I love how Dr. King, like, Langdon's like, yeah, Nietzsche. And then she's like, yes, Nietzsche, not Kelly Clarkson.
I
at
love their
all.
interactions. There's such a good dynamic.
Anyone
good
else
pals
fucking
concept.
stupid
Brotherly-
that didn't know that was
brotherly,
Nietzsche?
sisterly.
Is it just me?
No,
Fine, I can admit it. I thought you were asking. Kopf definitely knows. He can recite it.
I mean, I read Nietzsche in college, so who doesn't though, right? Like, who doesn't read Nietzsche in your
I went to school for film. I was
Me.
watching like
It's
fucking
you
Goodfellas.
and the fucking blonde guy from the bar in Goodwill Hunting reading Nietzsche.
I like them apples.
You like apples?
Again,
movie's
Kopf,
so
you show up
fucking
on a
great.
bike and then quote Nietzsche.
Nietzsche? Dude, get an umbrella because it's raining for you at that point.
Kopf's out there working with two hands tied behind his back.
Yeah, man. What the
Hey man,
We
I can't make
expect
it
more
too
out
easy
of
for
you.
myself.
We're going to create a whole new level of premium membership, and it's just ladies that get to go on a date with Kopf.
Not on a bike.
You in?
That
Tell you that.
Not on a bike, no. Everyone will Uber to the date. Then you split
safety
one
for
back.
everyone.
Yeah. Speaking of safety, Langdon almost messes up with the asthma patient, and like he starts to question himself if he should even be there, talking about an intubation, and you know he sees it as Rusty, and I think at some point while we were watching, we're like, yeah, he's Rusty. I think it's more so of just like he is in the same boat as everyone else, where they're just tired, they're exhausted, they're not thinking straight, but he has more reason to guilt himself into saying that he's Rusty, right? Instead of being more plausible and saying, well, it's a long day and it's been kind of crazy, we're going to make mistakes here, everyone is at this point. He's going back to, I haven't been here in a long time, I'm Rusty, this is my fault. Like, it's going right back to the I don't belong here kind of thing.
But that's also why you have multiple doctors in the room to make sure that somebody catches what the other one doesn't. So you have that checks and balances system. And I get the guilt of like, I should have seen it. And Mel reassures him. She's like, you would have eventually. It might take a little bit longer. But you have this fresh set of eyes that came in. They're beginning their shift, so they see it immediately.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm glad that he is retrospective about it, but I also think he shouldn't beat himself up too much.
Mel
And
was the
another-
perfect character to have that conversation with him because she can just be objective about it. She's like, yeah, you would have gotten it. Like, don't worry.
And again, I don't mean to like hammer on this, someone clearly struggling as well, but like he's another person being affected by Rob. Like he's just unconfident.
Yeah.
There's zero confidence in him right now, and that's
It's been eating away at him all shift.
Yeah.
And now you have Dr. Al who knows the truth, also doing it.
Santos just gave it to him. Like to go back to what you're saying, Alfredo. Like he's been taking it all shift from every fucking side, every which way. And I'm not saying he doesn't deserve some of it, but like that's hell of a lot to ask somebody to keep being Captain America at the end of a. They're actually past this shift, guys. Let's just say what it is. They're already past hour 12.
Yeah, they're in overtime.
Mm-hmm.
They did a kind of cool thing this episode with this patient where they give you, obviously this show, The Pitt, has shown how the medical system is broken in so many different ways and how it also breaks the people that are part of this medical system. But then to see it from the side of a patient as well, where something as simple as the asthma patient, and even while we were watching, I can't remember who, but like one of you guys was asking, like, is asthma really that serious? And it can be. It absolutely can be. Cam Scadaboo, did you guys see that? Cam Scadaboo was on like it was like a Barstool interview or some shit like that. And he's like, CTE ain't real. And then the other guy's like, that's how I feel about asthma. And he's like, oh yeah, it's not real. Just toughen up. Just like breathe, bro.
Kim Scadaboo is
like,
quickly
yo.
becoming the number one player that I don't want to see more of.
Yes.
The Giants need to hire a PR team for Cam and then keep him off camera.
Yeah.
It's, yeah. Anyways, the point of this was like, it was tough to see. They're talking about the patient. The mom is saying like, yeah, he was on all these other medications, but we lost Medicaid 2 months ago. And you come to find that they sent a redetermination letter for the Medicaid, was sent to the old apartment wasn't forwarded to their new living space. And now to get re-enrolled, she's like, oh, we need tax returns and pay stubs. And, I cut hair. Like my clients are inconsistent. I don't have all that kind of stuff like that. We're not going to sit here and say like we have better answers on how to fix a medical system. But I think it was just a quick peek into how broken you, by all means,
billionaires, tax corporations, use that money to go towards healthcare.
Thank
We're
you,
the
AOC.
richest world. We're the
You did
richest country in the world, and yet we act like we're one of the most impoverished countries. It's insanity.
Cost
The way
minimum-
we treat our citizens.
You're right, though. You're right. Like I was like, I'm roasting you, but like you're 1,000% right. Like we could fix this problem, we just won't. I'm just like, we've had Bernie Sanders up there. It's like the 1% for fucking like 20 years, and
More like 50.
It's what's interesting though is like I'm not going to disagree with you. You're 100% fucking right. I've heard the other side too from like Canadians who are like, yeah, we have universal health care. You know what it's like to get a doctor's appointment? Like you can't get one for 8 months because everyone is getting doctor's appointments. And
That is
so
not
many
for
checks
emergency. That is not for emergency medication. That's
I
for
understand.
like checkup.
No, I understand.
Which I would rather have that and not have to pay for it than, having to worry like I can't go anyway because I can't afford a checkup.
Yeah.
So what would you rather have?
Dude, I'm not arguing with you on it. Like I agree 100%. Eat the fucking rich, whatever, and like let's get people the medication that they need, especially in emergency situations. I think what I'm saying here more so is that like the three dudes who don't understand half the medical terms from this show are probably not going to solve the problems here, but this was a good glimpse into the problems that happen to the everyday person. Because I don't know about you guys, like there's a lot of times where I ask myself, like, do I really need to go to the doctor? Because this is going to be expensive as shit because of the way the insurance works.
I got in a motorcycle accident and didn't go to the doctor. I didn't go to the ER because I was like, I can't afford this bill, so I'll just fucking rub some dirt on it and hope I didn't break anything.
You had a full-blown accident. We've been bullying the shit out of you for an hour straight. Damn, Cough. I'm sorry.
It was like 6
like
years
that
ago,
chick.
so I'm fine.
Did you guys see that recently on Instagram? There was like some chick in Miami just walking across the street, looking down at her phone, gets hit by a car because she's walking during a green light, just lands on the floor, pops back up, keeps talking on the phone.
That was basically me.
All the comments are like, girl, I just think I got hit by a car. So anyways.
Oh, shit.
I think you just try to play it cool, dude. Like everyone saw that.
Oh,
It's your fault.
so embarrassing. You're just like, fuck it, ignore the pain and just keep going so nobody says anything.
It's not like slipping off the treadmill at the gym. You got hit by a fucking car.
I mean, it's a little like it,
It's a little like
that.
it. But yeah, anyways, the good thing is we like the patient, obviously everything works out well there. We even get just like a moment with, was it Dr. Shen? Who's our
Shen
coffee guy?
Yes.
Yeah, who comes in and he's like, well, I don't see any patients in here because everyone seems to be healthy, and like the boy's like smiling again, like everything kind of works out well. What's kind of cool is you get these little moments of heroism where like even Dr. Mel King is just kind of like, yeah, if you find that you need more of the medication, just come back here to us and we got you. It's good to kind of see that shining light a little bit within the medical system. And so I like that this show will give you that dichotomy where they can show you the darkness, but then show you the light at the same time. It goes back to what we've been talking about. The Pit is a show about humanity. It really is. It's not just a medical drama. Well, boys, I think we've covered everything here. We're closing in on an hour of the episode. We're going to be back again next week. We got 2 more episodes left of The Pit here to close out the season. It's I'm sure these final 2 episodes are going to be wild. As always, everybody, please keep joining us each week for episodes of The Pit. We got a bunch of other shows that we are covering as well. Like I mentioned, Your Friends and Neighbors Season 2, The Boys, Invincible, Euphoria, so many great things. As always, I want to thank everybody for watching or listening all the way through. For myself, for Jag, for Cough, get that motorcycle back, man. We'll see you next time. Adios.